Welcome to our at-home training series.
Woo, so we're still jogging here. Maybe I'd be like, ooh, what's at the top of this hill? The situation might not be ideal, but you're gonna have to go for it.
Welcome to our at-home training series, and I'm literally training you from at home. So if you're concerned about whether you'll be able to accomplish your goals even outside of the gym, I'm here to be a prime example for you that myself and Jessica are going to be right alongside with you, working out and getting into the best shape of our lives without having to always be at the gym. And so I have a couple of key points though that I want to talk to you about before we get started. First of all, there's this book that I honestly haven't even read the book, but the title itself says everything about a strategy that I think will help you, and it's something I struggle with too many times. And the title of the book is Ready, Fire, Aim. And so most people ordinarily think that if they were about to pull the trigger on something, they would get ready, then they would aim, and then they would fire. But the whole idea of ready, fire, aim is that you need to take action as soon as possible, maybe even before you're completely ready. Because if you wait too long, paralysis starts to set in. You'll essentially find a way to avoid doing it, and by the time you start to sort out all the details, the motivation you had to begin with is kind of disappeared, and it's easy not to make the lifestyle changes that you need to make. So what I encourage you to do, step one in this process, is going to be surrounded around the fact that you may not be ready, but you're going to have to get up and take action anyways. I need you to literally, as you're watching this video, put on your shoes, even if they're flip-flops, and get ready to walk out the door, okay? Because if you don't take action now, it's going to be too easy to avoid making a change. But on the other hand, if you do decide to take any amount of action, even if it's a very small, seemingly insignificant amount, that's going to start to give you the momentum to change. So that's the first principle I want to talk to you about, was ready, fire, aim. So I might make reference to that again. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk to you about was a very important mindset shift that you're going to have to make, was this idea of falling in love with the process. Now this is a very important mindset shift, because without making a change in the way you think, you're not going to be able to see results, because what you were doing clearly wasn't working, and what you've been doing has only led to you to this point so far. So in order to make changes, you're going to have to make a change. And it starts with the way you think about things and see the world. So when I talk about falling in love with the process, I'm going to use an example because this is going to be your very first task. Let's talk about going for a run. Now, I'd imagine you may enjoy running to a degree, but maybe you are the type of person to hate running. Let's pretend you even, right now, hate running as an example, okay? Maybe you don't like breaking a sweat and feeling gross. Maybe you don't like how your legs feel like they're burning, or maybe even the inside of your lungs burn when you start to run because you I don't know, maybe you haven't exercised in a while. Or maybe you are just overwhelmed by the idea of trying to track your steps and your miles and your speed and all of this stuff. And I think all of that is important, but none of it is going to help you if you don't first learn to love running, as an example. You have to love the process. And so step number one, instead of tracking all of those metrics and expecting you to do some particular certain amount, what I need you to do is when you go for your first run, you need to just, it doesn't matter how long or short it is, you could even walk and look at the scenery. But the key is you have to learn to enjoy running or walking. I'll tell you, when a year ago, I started training to go away for the military, and so that included a lot of running. Now, I never used to consider myself a runner. I never used to enjoy it. But I found, because I started out just running for the enjoyment of it, I would look at the scenery, I would just take in the experience and do my best to enjoy it. That's what made me eventually come to the point of being very successful at running, and now I do consider myself a runner. But that's because I've changed how I think about who I am, and I chose to enjoy the process. So, with that said, this is going to be your very first task. Yes, it incorporates ready, fire, aim. You're just going to have to go do it right now, this very second. The other element of this involves the second aspect we were talking about, learning to love the process. So, I don't want you to internally feel wishy-washy about it. Just accept that this is the step you need to take and enjoy the heck out of it. I want you right now to lace up your tennis shoes. You're going to, maybe you don't have headphones and you like to listen to music. I don't have my headphones right now because I am choosing to do this right now, even though I'm unprepared. I'm still in my pajamas, for goodness sakes. Do you see this? Okay? But what I need you to do is step outside and go for a walk or a run for any length of time. And it doesn't matter how fast you go, doesn't matter how far you go, but the key is you need to enjoy it. So, I'm going to do this right along with you. I think Jessica is going to join us too, and so go ahead and do that right now, and we'll meet you back for the next video.
Alright, we're walking right now. Hello. Just ordinarily, we're gonna want to do some type of warm-up and eventually get into tracking things and whatnot. But like I said, this part's just about enjoying the experience. And so we're starting out with a walk. Jessica here has to get to work here soon, and so we're actually probably just gonna do a short run around maybe 2 or 3 blocks or something like that, and have some fun with it. So hopefully doing the same. It's super important to have social support in some way, so that's cool that we're working together. If you can find anyone to do this with you, it's going to give you an advantage. But even if you're doing it yourself, you can't always rely on somebody else being there and available to go with you. But it certainly does help. So either way, if you need me to be your motivation because you don't have someone right along with you, then hopefully we can make that become the case. So yeah, get out there, enjoy the walk and the run, and now we're running and now we're going, and let me turn this camera around. Actually, I'm not sure I know how. And so, oh yeah, this is Bay City, Michigan, by the way. What a nice, lovely place. Anyways, yeah, so what I like to do, just the terrain, I just kind of follow wherever I feel like going to enjoy it. So maybe I'd be like, ooh, what's at the top of this hill? Let's go. Except we're not gonna do that today. But you get the idea, just kind of explore, check things out, enjoy the experience. Whew, so we're still jogging here. Jessica just mentioned that she's freezing because we're in Michigan in the wintertime. There's no snow on the ground though. That's surprisingly awesome. but maybe there's snow where you're at. Maybe it's even raining or something, right? So it's not always going to be like a perfect circumstance. But like I said, it's not that you have to go far for long, but you have to do it. You have to like make the change now. Otherwise you'll never get around to it. So the situation might not be ideal, but you're gonna have to go for it in order to change your lifestyle the way you want it to be. So we're still going. All right, we just made it back home. Walking in the door here. We didn't go for very far, for very long, but we got started, and hopefully you're doing the same. Coming back inside. So that was step one. You did it. Good job. So you got outside, you did a little bit of physical activity, and that's great physically, but the real advantage you have now is that you took the first step in developing some momentum. So what I want you to do next is start to figure out what your next step is going to be, what next action you're going to take, and just keep following along a little at a time, because changing your lifestyle doesn't happen overnight. So my goal for you is to start thinking about this differently, to look at what you just did as a big form of success, and even reward yourself for it. Okay, so if you like hot cocoa, I guess I'm thinking of it because it's cold outside right now, or you're into like drinking Diet Pepsis or something, reward yourself with a Diet Pepsi. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's going to work, I promise you. You won't always be relying on that Diet Pepsi, but we're going to make a significant change to celebrate what you just did now and get ready for step two.